Welcome back to Coin Explorer. Today's story is about something that may be sitting quietly in your drawer, hiding in your coin jar, or forgotten in an old wallet. It's a coin that doesn't scream for attention. Small, bronze-toned, and often overlooked. But make no mistake, the 2009 South African 20-cent coin might just be one of the most quietly powerful collectibles out there. Some say it holds value beyond imagination. Value measured not just in currency, but in history, mystery, and rarity. And yes, for some collectors, even potentially in the thousands, lakhs, or millions of dollars. So before you write off your loose change, hear this tale through to the end. Because this isn't just another coin. This is a hidden chapter of South African numismatic history. And perhaps, your personal treasure waiting to be discovered. Let's start with what meets the eye. The 2009 South African 20-cent coin is part of a long-standing series first introduced in 1961. Coins that have passed through millions of hands in buses, shops, homes, and markets across the nation. But the 2009 edition? That's where things begin to shift from the ordinary to the unforgettable. At first glance, the coin looks modest. It's bronze-plated steel, giving it a soft golden hue. It's light, just over 5 grams, with a diameter of 21.79 millimeters. But it's not the weight that matters, it's what it represents. The reverse side features the Strelitzia flower, also known as the bird of paradise. It's a symbol of beauty, elegance, and South Africa's rich botanical diversity. Gracefully arched and artistically engraved, this flower blooms proudly on the face of the 20 cent, a quiet nod to the country's natural heritage. And on the obverse side, the South African coat of arms, centered and majestic, with the inscription South Africa in one of the nation's 11 official languages. In 2009, this rotation meant some coins bore inscriptions in languages less commonly minted that year, adding yet another layer to the coin's appeal. But if this was just about looks, we wouldn't be here. The story of this coin goes much deeper. The year 2009 was pivotal for South Africa. It was the year Jacob Zuma became president, marking a new era of political change. The economy was under pressure. The world was just coming out of the 2008 global financial crisis, and South Africans were redefining resilience. Amid all this, the South African Mint continued its work, producing coins to serve the nation. But according to whispers in numismatic circles, something unusual happened during the minting of the 2009 20-cent coin. Reports began surfacing: unusual die marks, off-center strikes, double inscriptions, and low-mintage variations. A few collectors even claimed to have spotted reverse design shifts, where the Strelitzia seemed ever so slightly misaligned. Now, in the world of coins, that's a big deal. Rarity, mystery, and the collector's obsession. In numismatics, the science and art of coin collecting, rarity is king. Coins that are printed in smaller quantities or with production errors often become hot commodities. Add a layer of political or historical significance, and you have a recipe for something that could skyrocket in value over time. And here's the thing. The 2009 20-cent coin is rumored to be one of those silent giants. It wasn't officially announced as a limited release. There were no headlines, no commemorative packaging, but that's exactly what fuels the mystery. Collectors began to notice inconsistencies. One coin bore an inscription that looked slightly off-center. Another had raised edges unevenly formed, suggesting a die clash. Some even found ghost lettering, faint impressions beneath the surface. No two anomalies were the same, but together they formed a picture of a coin that might not be as common as it seems. A coin in the spotlight. Let's talk about one specific case, a true story that made waves in the South African coin community. In late 2022, a coin enthusiast in Cape Town stumbled upon an old tin box while helping his grandmother clean her attic. Inside, dozens of mixed coins from the early 2000s. Among them, a well-preserved 2009 20-cent coin. But something was odd. The flower design appeared to stretch slightly toward the rim, and the lettering on South Africa showed micro-doubling. Curious, he sent it for professional grading. When the results came back, The coin was certified at MS-67, near mint perfection. But more importantly, the graders noted die shifts and metal flow lines, signs of a highly unusual mint strike. Within months, the coin was featured at an international collectors' convention in London. Experts debated its origins, some suggesting it may have been an early die test or a transitional strike. Estimates began circulating. Some whispered figures in the tens of thousands. Others believed, based on global demand, rarity, and mystery, this coin could be valued in the hundreds of thousands, maybe even touching seven figures someday under the right market conditions. Could you have one? And now comes the most exciting part of this story. Could you have one of these coins? It's absolutely possible. These coins weren't sold in collector's sets. They were meant for circulation, everyday use, which means they could be anywhere, in your kitchen drawer, in an old coat pocket, buried at the bottom of a piggy bank, or already in your collection, just waiting for a second glance. That's the magic of coins. You don't need to be rich to own something valuable. Sometimes all it takes is awareness and a little luck. So what should you look for? Check the strelitzia. Is the design slightly off-center? Inspect the edges. Are they smooth and symmetrical? Look at the lettering. Is there any doubling, fading, or micro-misalignment? Check the weight. Use a small digital scale to compare with the standard ~5 grams. And if you notice anything unusual, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Even a small difference could make a huge impact. The emotional value of a coin. Now let's step beyond numbers for a moment. Coins are not just currency. They are time machines, little discs of history, art, politics, and identity. The 2009 South African 20-cent coin holds the energy of a nation going through economic shifts, global changes, and political evolution. Each coin minted that year carries more than a monetary value. It carries a story of a country, a people, and a moment in time. And that emotional connection? That's something no auction can truly measure. So let's say you find something. What next? First, preserve it. Handle coins by the edges. Use gloves if possible. Avoid cleaning them. Cleaning can reduce a coin's value. Second, authenticate it. Reach out to trusted experts. Use proper tools and research known anomalies. Third, tell the story. Coin collectors thrive on shared knowledge. If you discover a unique variation of the 2009 20-cent coin, you're not just protecting your investment, you're adding a new chapter to South African numismatic history. And finally, never underestimate the power of curiosity. The most valuable coins in the world were often found by people who simply paid attention, people who looked closer, asked questions, and took action. The community of collectors, young, old, novice, or expert, is filled with stories of life-changing discoveries that began with a single, overlooked coin. Will your story be next? So here's your mission. Coin explorers. Dig into your drawers, check those old jars, open your coin albums. If you come across a 2009 South African 20-cent coin, pause, look closer, study it. Because hidden in its design could be a story of unimaginable worth. A coin that defies expectations and rewrites what's possible. And remember, value isn't always announced. Sometimes it's discovered, quietly, patiently, by those who know where to look. If you enjoyed this story, give this video a like, share it with your fellow collectors, and hit that subscribe button for more rare coin mysteries. You never know. The next story might be about your coin.